Coming up in a couple Saturdays from now at the newly revamped Payne Arena in McAllen, Texas, the Combate America winner-take-all showdown between Tito Ortiz and Alberto El Patron Rodriguez will go down. And to my right is a man who's been now, 7 years in the UFC Hall of Fame, Tito Ortiz. Good to see you, sir.
Yeah, thank you much.
You got it. I got to be honest with you. I don't say this to too many guys. You look great.
Thank you. I take care of myself. Yeah, I've been in camp now for 17 weeks. I got 2 more hard weeks. Actually, this 1 week and then 1 more hard week. And then it's just cutting the weight, getting down to 210 pounds and competing on Saturday night, December 7th.
How many surgeries have you had?
I've had 8 surgeries to date. Hopefully, I don't have to have any more.
Okay, but what
so I did ACL on my left knee replacement in 2003. I've done ACL replacement my right knee, 50% meniscus taken on my right knee. L45, S1 fused in my lower back, T3, T2, T2, T1, T1, C7 disc replacement in 2017, and then C7, C6 fused, C6, C5 fused, and C5, C4 disc replacement, and a reattached retina on my left eye.
Okay. I'm
like a Timex watch. I keep on ticking.
You keep on ticking. Or you're like the operation guy. I mean, you've had a. So I ask this with the ultimate respect. What the hell are you still doing fighting? For fun, for the fun of it. I love it. I love competing. I love putting myself through the grind. I love seeing the end result. Of course, at 44 years old and you're as young, I would say. Yes.
And still have an 8-pack. Being in great shape. My kids, they do wrestling and jiu-jitsu also.
Right.
And I want to show them what hard work is.
How old are they?
I have twin 10-year-olds, Jesse and Journey, that I have my oldest, who's 17, Jacob. And he wrestles in high school himself. So.
Okay.
But they see the hard work that Dad does. And I just want them to understand what hard work and dedication is truly about. And they see the training that I do. And they put the same effort and work into school, and it's important. I push education is really a big part of my household. I push, they read an hour a day, 5 days a week. Education is number one. They have to get A's and B's. That's a mandatory in our home.
That's excellent. I mean, that's fantastic. And obviously you sticking with it and doing that, but are they concerned when Dad gets hit or anything like that?
Well, I mean, I'm very thankful that, through my career of 22 years, I've only been dropped twice. And, never been unconscious ever. And I've had probably about maybe 6 or 7 lacerations. That's just been mere flesh wounds. The surgeries happened prior in camps.
Okay.
But I've really kept my wit about myself, I think being a wrestler, being on a dominant position of being on top has kept my career with the longevity, I think, of not wanting to stand and trade with guys. With a lot of boxers, they take a lot of abuse. Of just punches, just the contusions that they take to the head, the blunt force of the gloves. People think a glove's there to protect a person's face. No, it's to protect their hand, and that's it. And you're still getting blows to the head where it's concussions come along and so forth. But I've been able to take care of my brain, my body, to a great enough level that I'm still able to compete, and it's fun. But it's like I say, I like to see what's at the end of the rainbow when I'm done every fight. Before the fight, it's just at my age, I want to show people that there's never too late to do something. You're able to do it no matter what surgeries you've gone through or what hard times you go through to make things that you love to do interesting and fun to do.
Tito Ortiz here on the Rich Eisen Show. I mean, we are seeing it in the NFL right now with Tom Brady, age 42.
Amazing.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you could see and based on his career, that he loves doing what he's doing. He loves the competition, but he also loves that, hey, I do this. I don't think another 42-year-old's going to do it. I'm going to set that bar very high. It's just another bar to set. It's just a greedy way to look at it, but you have to be in that regard.
Well, I mean, as any professional athlete, there's a greed or just being about only yourself. I got to be selfish. There's times I have to be selfish, but when it's time to be giving towards your family, there's time for that also. But there is a time for every man just to be selfish and to think about himself for his future. I want to make sure I have a nest egg for my kids when they get older. I was a kid who came from nothing. My mother and father had a drug problem. My mother got sober when I was 13. She gave me a second chance at life, I think. I got remarried, and my dad wasn't there for me. And I'm able to do the things my father never was able to do, and that's be there for my kids, loving my kids, and I think it was just something that he was never taught, and I had to teach to myself. So I'm able to make the same decision for my kids. You know, my twin boys, Jesse and Journey. I'm able to give them everything they never had as what I had as a kid. So my oldest son, Jacob, actually lives with his mother in Arizona, and she does an amazing job with him. He's a smart gentleman, awesome kid, hard worker. But I really kind of think with my twin boys, they're all under my hand, so under my thumb, and I make sure I just do the right things.
Tito,
be respectful. It's
Sure.
Be respectful kids. Open doors for girls, and yes sir, no sir. Look someone in the eyes when they shake hands, and just be respectful men.
Tito Ortiz here on the Rich Eisen Show. Your fellow Hall of Famer Ken Shamrock did make that Tom Brady reference in regards to you. Are you
Really?
Yeah, you did not know that.
Well, I'm a huge fan of Tom Brady. Actually, Stephen Neal, who was on the offensive line, so I think that's why Tom Brady's career has been gone so well, because his offensive line always protects him.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his glove.
Yeah, right.
That's his glove. Up front to protect his to protect his hand. Who is the toughest fighter you've ever
Toughest
faced?
fighter I've ever faced would have to be Randy Couture. He took my world title away from me back in 2003. I was 30 years old. I felt like I was invincible, and he out-wrestled me and just beat me round after round. And I thought the world was over. I thought everything was done. I would never be a fighter again. And but it just shows what type of character I am. I bounced back and still competing.
Who did you love talking crap about the most?
Ken Shamrock, I'd have to say. That was real. That was true.
The guy who called you Brady?
I think it's just one of those kind of ideas. And I think it happens in all schools and high schools. When kids fight each other, they end up being best friends at the end of the day.
Okay.
Because they hash out their problems by putting their dukes up.
Right.
And me and Ken Shamrock, it was a hate. It was a true hate. It was nothing built upon. There was no fakeness about it at all. And we battled out 3 times, and all 3 times I got my hand raised. But he pushed me every single time we compete against each other. I always thought that I was fighting the world's most dangerous man, and I had to be the world's most dangerous man, and that's how I got my hand raised.
Yeah. Wow. And then who's the guy you talk smack with the most that you don't think deserved to return it to you?
What do you mean it doesn't?
You would talk smack and they returned it to you, and you don't think that person deserved to actually talk smack back to you?
God, Chael Sonnen. That guy, I dislike that man. He's just something else. Someone who just talks and talks and talks and has never done anything in the sport besides talk.
Well, that's what he does for a living now, too, right?
Yeah, that's what he does for a living. He should have stayed to that, and I guess he is staying to it. And he's retired now, so. But he said some very personal things about me, and I'm a very emotional man. I'm a very loyal man, and when you talk about a person's family, I take it to heart, and it's my blood, and I kind of let him have a little bit. If people, I get an opportunity to go on YouTube and watch Tito Ortiz Uncaged. He said a couple things about me, and he was talking about me putting on my championship belt, and I had to let him have it full board. It wasn't just a little; it was full board. I put him out for who he really was, and he never said another word about me. Yeah.
Tito Ortiz here on the Rich Eisen Show, and now you're doing what many fighters are doing as well, which is broadening out, branching out. Is this your first film performance?
No, this is like my 8th film I've done.
Wow. Okay.
But I've done a lot of smaller films. I had one opportunity to do a big film. It was Cradle to the Grave with Jet Li and DMX, and this was in 2003 when I was world champion.
Okay.
And I sat there and watched him go, cut, all right, and action, cut, all right, and action, cut, over. And I was like, they get this many chances to do this? And then I was like, I'm a perfectionist, and if I'm able to do that many times, I want to learn this.
Well, I mean,
and
doing what you do for a regular living, I mean, it's a one-take artist. There's no second, third takes.
Well, we get that in training. I think I put in a rigorous training group. Training camp of this camp I've had for this fight has been 17 weeks, and I got 2 more, a week and a half left. But it's just having the dedication, and giving yourself out. And something that I've learned over the last few years is Dwayne Johnson is being willing to expose yourself and not being afraid to fail. And that's always been a hard thing for me, because I always wanted to be successful in everything I do. So to fail and to let myself out and open and be vulnerable, it's kind of hard. But I think over the last year, I've kind of accepted it and I've learned it, and it's a trait to learn the acting skills. But Dwayne Johnson's someone who I really look up to. He's made the transition from professional wrestling into acting. I mean, he's a blockbuster.
He's the #1 star on planet Earth right now. You could make that argument.
For a long time. That guy is an amazing, hardworking man that I aspire to be. I'm a person who I look up to for sure.
Well, Trauma Center is the name of this film that comes out in theaters on demand Friday, December 6th. Bruce Willis is in this.
Yes.
You know, he played a fighter in Pulp Fiction.
Yep.
You know, who let pride mess with his mind, according to Marcellus.
I don't think Bruce Willis ages. It's crazy. I seen him. I was like, God, you look like 20 years ago.
What'd he say?
Yeah, and he was, thank you. He's all, you're a really big guy. Like, yeah.
Yes.
He was cool. He was a very calm, mellow-mannered man, very respectful.
Okay.
You know, he was cool. The first time I ever met him, I was kind of starstruck myself, but it was cool. It was cool.
He's Bruce Willis, man.
Yeah, but in the film, actually, Nikki Whalen, who plays Madison, who's the girl I chase around the hospital.
We're seeing it right here. Now, you said you have not seen this footage before.
I have not seen any of this.
This is you chasing around Nikki Whalen right now in a stairwell and throughout the entire.
Partner, we take this battle. We chase her around this hospital. I ended up shooting myself by accident.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. But let me tell you, this film took a little bit out of me. There's a part of the film that I have to grab her and be very hands-on, and it's kind of scared me a little bit. I just I got off set, and I just had to take a second to myself, and just like, okay, that was just your character. That was just
That's
your
right.
character.
Yeah.
And
so did you go to a place where you treated her like she was Chael Sonnen? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
You went inside?
I finally got a hold of her. But people are going to have to watch the film.
People have to see it. It's again in theaters and on demand Friday, December 6th. And what's going to happen on Saturday, December 7th? Big weekend for you. You got a movie coming out Friday and then this fight on Saturday.
Yeah, and that's another great thing is the movie got shot way before this fight was announced. So I got it done, and then all of a sudden I just got through camp. I've been killing myself in camp, getting ready to put on a show. I've done every single one of my fights. I think this is going to be a little bit of National Geographic of a lion hasn't eaten for a year, and finally he's going to get that little gazelle he's been chasing around, and that gazelle's Alberto Del Rio. He's been locked in a cage with an animal, and this lion hasn't eaten in a year, and it'll be time to roar.
What an interesting way to put it, for sure. Again, so if you win, you take physical possession of El Patron's WWE title belt.
Yeah, this was my idea, and it worked. He took hook, line, and sinker. I was very happy. So you can understand, I'm a huge WWE fan. WWF back in the day. Hulk Hogan, this guy, one of the icons I love. And I know he was a heavyweight world champion, Alberto Del Rio, and I was like, I wonder if I put up one of my light heavyweight belts on the line, would he put his heavyweight belt on the line? Now, my kids, just so you know, they're huge WWE fans. They were sitting right here. They can name every one of the guys on the roster.
Okay.
And I told them about it, and they're like, Dad, would you really put up one of your belts for it? And I go, yeah, let's do it. So I did it, and he bid it hook, line, and sinker. So on December 7th, live on pay-per-view, as I beat him, my kids will be walking down with me into the fight. I'm bringing them there to the fight. This is the first time ever. Both of them will be there. All three of my boys will walk down with me into the fight, and I'm going to put it around their shoulder when I take it from them.
There you go. You'll get El Patron's WWE title belt. You're putting your UFC, one of them, light heavyweight championship belts on the line. It'll be Saturday, December 7th, Payne Arena in McAllen, Texas. If you're there, go there. If not, pay-per-view. Good to see you, sir. Thanks for coming on the show.
I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
That's Tito Ortiz, at Tito Ortiz on Twitter, and at Tito Ortiz 1999 on Instagram.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live, or download The Rich Eisen Show app.